Within the VacuSeal lifter box is our written manual that provides detailed clearance requirements and safety instructions. Spas with large radius corners between 12 to 15 inches require the prior attachment of an optional extended bracket for added structural support. To begin, measure 22 inches from the furthest end of your spa and pencil mark your cabinet. Mounting bracket must sit flush on the cabinet. Any trim strips preventing this must be removed, cut, and later replaced. Or you can attach a wood spacer, the thickness of a trim strip. Then position the bracket at your pencil line, flush under the spa coping. Make sure the safety stop is at the top and rear of the spa. To prevent wood from splitting, use a drill bit to pre-drill the holes. Then begin installing screws. If your spa has no frame to secure to, remove cabinet panel and install a wood structure. For spas with steel frames, use a metal drill bit, and then the wood screws will work just fine. We recommend installing approximately 8 screws, but more is always better. After the bracket is secured, install the cover plate and secure it using the 2 machine screws. Next, slide on the rubber safety stop and repeat bracket installation on the other side. On swim spas, make sure to fully install the first lifter before working on the other side. Now, position the cover on the spa and place all remaining parts close to where they will be installed. On the solid round boss closest to the rear of the spa, place a Teflon washer. Then position the swing arm with the extended portion facing towards the bottom of the spa. Next, place a second Teflon washer and a machined washer together. Then take a hex bolt with a lock washer on it and pass it through the washers. Then hand screw it into the boss. Then, with the use of a wrench, firmly tighten until the lock washer is fully compressed. Next, slide the adjustable bracket onto the swing arm with the large oblong hole positioned at the bottom. Then slide the long side of the crossover bar through the upper clamp, and then slide the short side over the swing arm. Position the clamp directly centered over the slit in the cover. Go to the opposite side and install the extension tube into the crossover bar. We recommend pencil marking the center of the tube. Now slide the second crossover bar through the other upper clamp, and then slide it into the extension tube. Then slide the second adjustable bracket onto the swing arm, and then slide the swing arm into the crossover bar. The upper clamp should be centered over the cover slit. Just as you did on the other side, place a Teflon washer over the boss and position the swing arm over it. Then install all washers and the bolt exactly as was described and shown on the other side, and tighten securely. Again, making certain oblong hole is to the rear. It is now very important to make sure your cover is positioned squarely on the spa. Check every corner, whether it's a hot tub or a swim spa. Then measure the distance between the upper clamp and the edge of the cover, and make sure it is identical on both sides. Center bar should now be parallel with cover hinge. Next, lift cover slightly and slide the lower clamp into the center of the slit, and then position it over upper clamp. Then loosely install both nylon lock nuts. Then hand squeeze clamps on one side and tighten with a wrench. Then do the same on the other side. Make sure that both lock nuts are securely tightened. Repeat lower clamp installation on the other side. It's not necessary, but if you have a clamp, it will make this procedure a little easier. Next, choose the side you want the handle on and slide it fully into the crossover bar. Then pre-drill one of the outer holes at the T and install the self-tapping screw and repeat in the second hole. On the other side with no handle, install screws into each of the 2 open outer holes. Next, make sure the distance between the swing arm and its connection point on the crossover bar is equal on both sides. Then secure the crossover bar to the swing arm with 2 self-tapping screws. Repeat on the other side. First, make certain the crossover bar is parallel to the cover and that there's space for lifter to operate. Next, pre-drill holes in the upper clamp. Then secure it to the crossover bar with self-tapping screws. Repeat on the other side. Next, slide the rounded side of the rear support bar into the back sleeve of the cover and align the holes with the sliding bracket. First, install 2 hex bolts, then the nylon lock nuts. Hand tighten. Then secure and tighten with a 1/2-inch wrench. In the one exposed hole, install a self-tapping screw. Then, repeat all of this on the other side. Now, manually lift the cover without the assistance of gas shocks. With the cover open, install self-tapping screws into the 2 bottom holes of the adjustable bracket. Then repeat on the other side. Hand screw the first ball stud into the most interior boss on the bracket. Then tighten with a socket wrench. Install second ball stud with a lock nut onto the top recommended hole in the swing arm. Then tighten securely. Lower holes can be used for smaller spas. Snap narrow barrel of gas shock onto the ball stud on the mounting bracket and the wide barrel on the other. Do the same on the other side. Move to the rear of the spa and check that the extension tube is visible in all crossover bar holes. Make certain to position something to protect the cover. Then pre-drill into all 4 holes and install self-tapping screws. This can also be done when the cover is closed. To give your lifter a finished look, install plastic plugs into the ends of each crossover bar and plastic caps on all hardware, along with plastic caps on each of the rear support bars. For swim spas, be sure you push the uninstalled cover firmly against the installed cover before installing second lifter. Finally, make sure to install the locks to protect both your cover and the lifter, along with guarding against unwelcomed intruders.